Hello there. I'm delivering my short recommendation report from my homemade walking desk. My report is about the dangers of sitting and the things that businesses/workers can do to decrease time spent sitting. Abstract. Due to the many negative health effects of prolonged sitting, we must encourage workers to mitigate the negative effects of sitting and/or sit less hours per day. Sitting has significant negative health effects, while standing/walking more per day has significant positive health benefits, that is. Our plan to do this is as follows. Educate workers about the serious negative health effects of prolonged sitting. Second, educate workers about the positive effects of standing/walking more per day. Third, educate businesses and workers about practices that mitigate the negative health effects of sitting and/or encourage less sitting per day. And finally, encourage businesses and workers to adopt above practices. Problem. According to Dr. James Levine of the Mayo Clinic, Arizona State University Obesity Solution Initiative, quote, sitting is more dangerous than smoking, kills more people than HIV, and is more treacherous than parachuting. We are sitting ourselves to death, unquote. The average office worker can spend approximately half their workday sitting. When adding in time spent sitting at home, the national average is 10 hours per day spent sitting. There is an abundance of research that shows prolonged sitting has significant negative health effects. These include increased risk for obesity, metabolic syndrome, increased blood pressure and blood sugar, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, muscular issues, abnormal cholesterol levels, depression, and decreased lifespan. Additionally, research shows us that exercising in addition to prolonged sitting cannot fully mitigate the negative effects of sitting. Analysis. Prolonged sitting is a relatively new problem to humans. For most of human history, humans were active throughout the day, either migrating or chasing prey. Only since the Industrial Revolution and post-World War II has there been a large-scale shift to white-collar jobs that encourage prolonged sitting. While many workers may have a general idea of the negative effects of sitting, of prolonged sitting that is, but they may not be aware how significant the negative health effects are. We'll briefly explore the above-mentioned effects here. There's firm scientific evidence that shows a link between prolonged sitting and increased risk for heart disease, increased mortality, obesity, type 2 diabetes, increased blood pressure and blood sugar, and decreased metabolic rate. There's preliminary evidence supporting a link between sitting and certain types of cancer, decreased muscle function, decreased ability of the body to convert fat into energy, and depression, though these effects are still being studied. Evaluation. There are 3 techniques that could be implemented to mitigate the effects of sitting/reduce sitting per day. First, if workers must sit, they can somewhat mitigate the effects of sitting by standing up and walking about 5 minutes for every 20 to 30 minutes of sitting. After 30 minutes of sitting, metabolic rate slows by 90%, enzymes that encourage fat burning slow down, and the lower body muscles begin to stiffen. Second, if workers can reduce time spent per day sitting, the World Health Organization recommends a sit-stand desk. These are desks that can be converted from sitting to standing and vice versa. The British Journal of Sports Medicine recommends workers start off by standing 2 hours per day and out of their 8-hour workday and gradually work towards standing 4 hours per day with their sit-stand desk. Third, the third solution that businesses could adopt is a walking/treadmill desk. These desks are treadmills with standing desks above them. The treadmill typically runs 2 or less miles per hour, a slow and easy pace. The desks allow for workers to walk while they work, completely eliminating the effects of sitting. There are also health benefits to walking more. Walking in a treadmill desk burns 100 to 200 calories per hour. Keeping the body in motion eliminates muscle, joint, and blood flow problems associated with sitting or standing in the same position for a prolonged period of time. And there is some evidence to support that walking more throughout the day can improve mood and decrease risk of depression. Recommendation. In short, there are many serious and negative health effects associated with prolonged sitting. There are also positive health benefits associated with standing/walking more per day. Reducing sitting time will improve the worker's health and possibly mood. We recommend the following. If workers must sit, businesses should encourage 5 minutes of walking for every 20 to 30 minutes of sitting. This somewhat mitigates the effects of prolonged sitting. If workers can sit less per day, we encourage businesses to invest in sit-stand desks and encourage workers to stand 2 hours per day and gradually work to standing 4 out of the 8-hour workday. Standing 2 to 4 hours per day significantly mitigates the effects of sitting more than walking breaks every 20 to 30 minutes. And finally, for workers dedicated to sitting less, businesses could invest in walking desks. These desks fully mitigate the effects of sitting and come with their own associated health benefits. So that's been my presentation and short recommendation on the negative health effects of sitting and what businesses and workers can do to sit less per day. Thank you.